Shalom and welcome to Mitzvah Torah. This year is entitled Shabbat Shuva and Maor-when. Be careful. Very, very, very careful what you say. We spoke about Lashon Harah. There's a famous story, legend, that supposedly Vayisrael Salanta saw the Chafetz Chaim's work on Shmir HaLashon, which is legendary at this point, and he said, I can't give an approbation. And it's because of what he wrote at the end of chapter 4, where the Chafetz Chaim said, you spoke Lashon Harah about someone, and the people believed you, and you said, yeah, he's dishonest in business, and they heard that, and it's going to be very damaging to him now. And he doesn't know that. You said it, but it's going to be damaging to him. You go over to him, and you say, hey, I'm really sorry. I said some horrible things. I made up this lie for whatever reason, and I ask you for mechila. So that's what the Mishnah Berurah, the Chafetz Chaim, writes at the end of Dalet, chapter 4. The Vayisrael Salanta said, you can't do that. You want to have kapara, atonement. It's at his expense by telling him something which he's going to feel horrible about. So what gives you the right to make him feel horrible, which is onat dvarim, so you could go ahead and have kapara? No, you can't do it. And that's how the story goes. You have Raz Nidru of Zilber, you have a Sternbach, everyone talks about what the story meant. They quote Rav Dessler, who quoted Rav Salanta, different variations of the story. Did he really argue with the Chafetz Chaim? Did they both agree that maybe you could just do a general request before Yom Kippur? If I've done anything wrong to you, are you mochel me? Do you forgive me? Without specifying, so that way he doesn't feel bad. There's different opinions on what exactly the argument is. But what's clear is that someone who speaks Lashon Harah, he may or she may never be able to have proper atonement, because it could be that you cannot go and specify what you did because it make the person feel worse. Or if you do, who says the person is going to really forgive you with a lev shalem? And it turns out, if you don't have atonement for this, you hurt someone and you can't repair the damage because it's too embarrassing to go over, you're not allowed to go over, then the person could go ahead and die without kapar atonement. And kapar mita is not an atonement. Death is not an atonement for this kind of a sin. It may sometimes be an atonement between man and God, not man and man. So a person is really stuck. So there's really only one approach here, to be so careful not to speak against another person. Besides the fact that it's aggressive and it's belligerent and it's horrible meat, though, it's hurting someone and ultimately it's hurting yourself, because you get into a bind where you can never get out and never have any proper atonement, which, so it's tshuva, that should cause us a lot of serious thinking. Shalom.